Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Anamorphides with Mental Health Counseling. As many of you know, or whoever is coming on to my channel as a new viewer, I am a wellness counselor and a life coach, and I help people achieve their ultimate life that they envision that they can have, because I now understand that it is our birthright and we are meant to experience all that we yearn and we desire. And usually I talk about relationships and how the masculine energy or the feminine energy interacts with each other. But today it's going to be all about parenting, because no matter how challenging the masculine energy has been for me, purely because I had a lot of wounds being reflected back to me, I had so many things being reflected back to me by the masculine energy that I had to heal. I feel as my daughter is going from 12 to 13, and she's crossing over that line of now being a child into being an adolescent. I am experiencing all the things that I had learned about when I was trained in youth counseling. So normally I do work with youth. I do have a few teens that I work with, and I really now understand what the parents are experiencing, because it's one thing for me to read it from books or being taught it in theory, and it's another thing to hear it from somebody else, and then it's another thing for me to actually experience it. And it's just like clockwork. At 12 and a half, she is literally becoming what I read in the books or what we were taught. From like 0 to around 12, we as caregivers, we are their everything. They depend on us for all of their needs, and they look up to us and they want to connect with us, and they're looking for that connection. That's why it's so important to make sure that we provide safety to them and we see them and we make them feel heard. So safe, seen, secure, and soothed are the things that we're supposed to be providing when they're 0 to 12 in order for them to become an adolescent who has a secure attachment style, therefore has a positive self-view and can create relationships with other people that will reflect the way that they view themselves. So if they have a positive self-view, so then in turn, they're going to create relationships that reflect that positive self-view that they have, because we are vibrational beings and we attract the experiences based on what we put out to the universe. So I understood that this was a really important job for me as a parent, to make sure that my child has amazing core beliefs, that she is worth it, that she is good enough, and try to create the least amount of traumas and or wounds that I possibly could with my awareness. But the minute she started to become an adolescent, wow, this is a trip for me. The masculine energy and its challenges is nothing compared to my child going into adolescence and exercising her adolescent forming mind, which is now going to step away from me, who is her primary caregiver, seeing me as her everything, looking to me to get her needs met. Now she's literally going to her peers, turning away from me, not wanting anything to do with me. I am annoying. I am this. I am that. And I find this way more challenging than I have ever found a masculine energy to be. So I just wanted to really make this video to let other parents out there that are going through this experience with their adolescent teens, especially if they are resonating with the feminine energy, please hang in there. It is actually going to be part of their developing brain to explore the rest of the world outside of us being their everything, and want to develop their own sense of self depending on the core beliefs that we gave them. Now they're going to take all that and shape their world while pushing us as much as they can to exercise those beliefs, and they're also going to really push boundaries, and we have to be firm. They are meant to push boundaries, and we are meant to not allow that. the best way to enforce them is to be an authoritative parent where you allow discussion, you allow their voice to be heard, but then you're firm with what you need to set. So for example, these stupid electronics, I swear I will take them and I will smash them out my window, which I actually already have before. They are destroying our children's lives and our well-being as parents, because it's a constant struggle, and the algorithm of these electronics is so much more powerful than their brain, even our brain, who is a grown adulty brain, never mind their growing adolescent brain, which is ridiculous. So they're going to push to have more phone, but it's up to me to set that boundary for her not to have it for more than 2 hours a day. And it's a constant battle. And so I guess I'm making this video more because I am exhausted. I am so tired of fighting this thing all the time. I am tired of setting boundaries all the time. So moms and dads out there, make sure you fill your cup. Do the things that you love, because adolescent age is so draining. It is so draining, like energy. It just takes from us. It doesn't pour into ourselves. I mean, through my experience anyways, and what we've learned, because they're developing emotionally and they're trying to understand who they are and their hormones, and they're out of their window of tolerance all the time, and they're emotionally expulsive. So then we are there to support them and listen and set boundaries and drive them around everywhere. What do we not do for them? Oh my gosh. I am so grateful to be a parent, and I understand that energetically, like, my girl chose me to be her parent because she knew that I would be the best person for her to create the best version of herself. But man, is she giving me a run for my money. So make sure that you fill your cup. Do the things that you love, moms out there. Make sure you go have your quiet time. Like, I remember my mom when we were growing up, she'd always say, I just want to run and go to the mountains. And at the time I was like, why would you want to go to the mountains? Like, that's just a weird place to go. But now I get it. She wanted peace and quiet and to connect with nature, and like, do that for yourself. Take some time out with your partner if you have one, with your girlfriends if you have them, to go out for a nice dinner. You don't even have to spend money. Pack a bag and go to the beach. Do things to fill your cup, because parenting these days is no cupcake. It is so different than when we were raised as parents, because now we have to enforce all these ways of being with them emotionally, so we don't create so we can actually create emotional regulation for them and emotional smartness. This thing of not talking about our emotions does not exist anymore. This battle with electronics didn't exist before. It exists now. This ability for our kids to walk to their activities and ride their bike on their own until they get to a certain age doesn't exist anymore either. Everyone's scared. So I feel what you go through, and I just wanted to, just not commiserate. That's not the right word. Just be part of this community of being a parent to a growing adolescent and facing its challenges, and mostly just get support. And I really needed to talk about it because I was feeling it, like, really forming my body. And I guess part of my way of filling my cup is making these videos. It's really nice to release that energy. So hang in there. It is totally normal for them to act in these ways that they do, and it will end and they will come back to us. But in the meantime, make sure you fill your cup. If there's any questions that you have about the adolescent brain, on how it processes or how it does things, there's so many wonderful books out there that we can read. Brainstorm by Daniel Siegel is actually a really good one. It explains to a T how adolescent beings understand and interpret the world. And there's always me as well. I do work with youth, and it's one thing to work with other youth because my job as a counselor is to listen to them and offer support. But obviously it's a lot harder when I'm experiencing my daughter, because she literally doesn't want anything to do with me. So it's different that I'm and kind of weird that I can support other youth, but I can't support my own girl because she doesn't feel like I'm the person that she would want to go to, which is fine. That's supposed to happen too. It's natural that they pull away from their primary caregivers and they cling on to their peers. And this is another important thing that we learned in youth counseling when I was doing my counseling degree, is that if you're not going to be the person for them that they're going to come to you, make sure you have someone, an adult in their life, that will be that person for them, that they feel comfortable enough to go to, that they feel comfortable enough to talk about what's happening within them, that they want to connect with, that they don't want to push away. And that could be the dad. In many cases, it is the dad. In other cases, it could be a favorite auntie or a counselor. Like in my case, I become this for a youth. It's really important for a youth to have one figure, a role model in their life, at least one that they are able to connect with in that way, because they actually do need it. Even though they do push against it, they actually do need it. And that could also be a teacher. It could be anyone. It could be anyone. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you have any questions, please put them down below, or any comments or any words of encouragement or connection or anything that you want to share. I'd love to hear it, what you're going through, your journey. And check out my channel for other videos that I have. I do have another one on parenting as well, and it's mostly on the 0 to 12 years of age, on how to make sure we create a positive self-view and a secure attachment style, so then later on in the relationship with the adolescents, they can have that reflected back to them. And if you liked anything about this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so to help my little channel grow. And I thank you so much with all my gratitude. As a tired parent today, I am signing off, and I'll see you next time.